Hi, I'm Will Cunningham, author of Magnet Ass and the Stone Cold Truck Hunters. You're about to hear one of the most thrilling yet tender war stories ever told. It's narrated by Grime, a wonderful soul with a French horn for a voice. I've never met the man, but I'm sure we'd be fast friends if we got the chance. Now, without further falderall, here's Magnet Ass and the Stone Cold Truck Hunters.
Forward. Ask your children how long the Vietnam War lasted, and they will peer at you like codfish from a grocer's freezer. Ask yourself the same question, and your answer will have the effect of boiling water on a bloodstain. Ask your parents, and you'll understand the power of secrecy. So it falls on me to tell you some secrets. To begin, Magnet Ass is a very different memoir than you have read in the past. It is a war story, but it is also not a war story. It has everything to do with a white-hot mission over the Plain of Jars in 1970, for which 10 men earned one of history's most coveted aviation trophies. At the same time, it has nothing to do with any of that at all. It is gritty, and it is holy, sometimes full of shit and shrapnel. Other times as demure as a duck flying over a pond in the dead of winter. It burst my gut to write it. Drew things out of me I wish had remained hidden. Bankrupted me, nearly. Broke me entirely. It sings, and it cries. Secondly, you will struggle with this book if you are used to memoirs where the author remains out of sight. Early in the interview process, I realized Al's story intertwined eerily with mine. Thus, I am all over this memoir, something I'm told is never done in normal memoirs. In a very real sense, this is a memoir, a combination of the auto and biographical records of two men. Of two men who came to know and love each other deeply. Hopefully, it will be a you-moir by the time you're finished reading. Then, Magnet Ass will be your story, too. But, to be clear, this is still Magnet Ass Milacek's story, and he is still front and center, standing before the troops like the leader he has always been, and always will be. He will hate me for saying this, but he remains the hero until the very last page. Magnet Ass is wild and free, as are the characters who wrote their story with their lives back in 1970. When they weren't loading ammo in Magnet Ass's cannons, the truck hunters spent most of their time hanging out the cargo door of their AC-119K gunship by an inch-thick tether, watching for incoming artillery fire. Let me rephrase that last statement. Their whole job was shooting trucks while dodging bullets. Let us speak no more of occupational hazards. Historical prologue. Between the winter of 1968 and the spring of 1972, the United States military conducted a covert campaign against North Vietnamese forces along the key supply corridor known as the Ho Chi Minh Trail. Vital to the success of the North Vietnamese Army, the trail, running from North Vietnam to South Vietnam through a small section of Laos, provided a daunting challenge to air forces tasked with preventing deadly resources from making it to their destination. Responding to a creative, adaptive foe, the U.S. Air Force developed a series of slow, side-firing, fixed-wing gunships, lethally equipped for one specific task: hunting an endless convoy of trucks in the jungle, and the men who drove them in the dark. None of these planes made it back to U.S. soil. Part 1. Over the Fence. Time: 23:38, 7th May 1970. A battalion of sweat beads formed on the airman's neck and began a slow march down his spine. Down it rolled over tight trapezoids.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?